Самолета стрела засвистит высоту набирая. Там, где солнце и мгла, мы летим небеса обнимая. Может быть, мы когда-то там жили, были птицами, звездами были, но забыли об этом, забыли и учимся вновь летать. Пусть все это мираж, но все же мир единственный наш, теперь нам дороже. Все же недаром летаем мы в снах, в звездных далеких безмолвных мирах, и детские сны откликаются нам. Дети солнца и тьмы, мы не все о себе еще знаем. Возвращаемся мы и опять о полете мечтаем. И опять мы и звезды, и птицы, и серебряный воздух струится, и под нами кружится, кружится, за нами летит земля. Пусть все это мираж, но все же мир единственный наш, теперь нам дороже. Все же недаром летаем мы в снах, в звездных далеких безмолвных. колеса диктуют вагонные, где срочно увидеться нам. Мои номера телефонные разбросаны по городам. Заботится сердце, сердце волнуется, почтовый пакуется груз. Мой адрес не дом и не улица, мой адрес Советский Союз. Мой адрес не дом и не улица, мой адрес Советский Союз. Точки тире телеграфные, ищите на стройках меня. Сегодня не личное главное, а сводки рабочего дня. Заботится сердце, сердце волнуется, почтовый пакуется груз. Мой адрес не дом и не улица, мой адрес Советский Союз. Мой адрес не дом и не улица, мой адрес Советский Союз. Я там, где ребята толковые, я там, где плакаты вперед, где песни рабочие, новые, страна трудовая поет. Заботится сердце волнуется, почтовый пакуется груз. Мой адрес не дом и не улица, мой адрес Советский Союз. Мой адрес не дом и не улица, мой адрес Советский Союз. Мой адрес не дом и не улица, мой адрес Советский Союз. Мой адрес не дом и не улица, мой адрес Советский Союз.
Hello, comrade. Sorry, I forgot to add the mic to this screen. Hello. How is everybody? My husband is supposed to have the laptop on Mondays. It's his laptop. W Laptop Fund. The laptop fund, by the way, the bar is not 100% accurate. It is only including tips that are specifically through coffee, and it doesn't include like I haven't input the amount that I'm getting from Twitch because I haven't gotten paid from Twitch yet, so I don't exactly know what it looks like. But so the fundraiser bar is specifically tracking coffee. the coffee website. But my husband is supposed to have the laptop on Mondays. It's his because he's supposed to type up a new menu and like print it out, but he left it here with me again. So I'm playing video games because I don't really have any other plans. Oh, hold on. Let me turn my phone on. Do not disturb. W Chef, thank you, Chef. I don't think he was planning on typing up a new menu because it's supposed to be windy at the beach today. So he's not really expecting people to show up en masse. He's expecting only really like the locals to come in. My phone is on Do Not Disturb now. It's set so that the people who might need to get through to me can get through to me.
That's why I support revolution. The revolution that feeds the children gets my support.
Hello, thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the follow. I'm clicking open the event list. Thank you for the follow. Oh my gosh, the sewer rat. Thank you for the follow. W new comrade. Welcome. Rats in the chat, please. Comrades.
Are you gay?
Are you? Are you gay? If you're not gay, we have something we can do to fix that. Oh, thank you, comrades. Thank you for the tip, W. We are that much closer, everyone, to a new laptop. Welcome in, everybody, by the way. Let me go through the list. Who's here right now? Hello, Antifa Groupie. Hello, Smash. Hello, Red Midwest. Hello, Collective TV, of course. And the Kami Jesus. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for joining me. We are returning to Baldur's Gate 3. I'm warming up with a little coffee. Interestingly enough, with our apartment placing, it's hot right now, but we're like on the backside and completely covered by trees. So, first of all, my plants dying. They hate it here. There's no sunlight. I need to get plant lights for all of my plants. Absolutely no sunlight. But when it's hot outside, it actually stays pretty cool, like inside. So it's warm. It's really warm outside. And I'm wearing a sweater because it's cold here. But, like, specifically indoors.
That's why I support revolution. The revolution that feeds the children gets my support.
Hello, I'm Chef Steph. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the follow. So I'm just warming up a little bit before we get started. But we're returning to Baldur's Gate 3. I think we're in Act 2, are we not? Did we not start suiting up Act... I think we killed, like, everyone in the creche except for... We're going back to Act 2 to try to level up, right? We one-turned Ethel. The Parenti alert does go hard. The sub-alert also, I enjoy the sub-alert because I get to make a joke about how we're supporting Jeff Bezos while also supporting me. But it is another Parenti clip. But it's actually been like a couple weeks since we played Baldur's Gate 3. Or it's been like, it feels like it's been a minute. It feels like it's taken us, it's been a long time. It's been a few weeks since we played Expedition 33, so I will play that later. It's a video game day, comrades. We're in the middle of an extended break while also on stream is what we're doing. We're still in the middle of a break. Yeah, I also miss Expedition 33. I think we've neglected it too much. I think we have neglected it. I have to click over to this one so I can see myself. If I'm not on this screen, I'm covered up by all of my different like things that subs can do and that I can do with images. So we have, let's go over for everyone what we're working with here. We are playing as Lae'zel. We are a Lae'zel origin. We have Raphael's armor. We got it at the end of Act 1 early on using an exploit. And we are a Battlemaster fighter. We're currently level 6. We have we have 2 pieces of Act 3 gear that we got in Act 1. Oh, sorry. Yeah, our wife is praying. Let's go over here. You're so right. Let's go over here. All right. Just to go in the menu. So this is our other piece of Act 3 gear. This is the Silver Sword of the Astral Plane, which we also used an exploit to get. But that's fine, because our goal is to win. Our goal is not to play fair. Our goal is to win. We've been killing everyone in the creche, using Lae'zel as our, what's it called, melee fighter, and then Shadowheart is our stealth archer. And Shadowheart's really going, we have to go get the ring where we can see in the dark, and that will really help too with the stealth archer thing. But, oh, we're actually a frost archer right now. We're a frost stealth archer right now. We're level 5 ranger, level 1 fighter. We're also going to take rogue, and we're going to take rogue assassin. I think we only need fighter for 1 more level so that we can get the action surge. But soon, Shadowheart's going to be able to take like a million turns. Like, he's going to be able to take like a bunch of actions in 1 turn. We 1-turned Ethel. We cleaned out the creche. And we're just trying to get up to level 7 before we finish cleaning up the creche completely. Where are we? Yeah, we just finished with Ethel. So, first thing I have to do is enchant my gear. Who has it? Yeah. We have the Drake's Throat Glaive. We need to enchant cold damage on the Titan String Bow, which is Shadowheart's main weapon. The Titan String Bow is called that because it adds extra strength damage to every attack. But the thing about this is that we're also going to add elemental damage to Lae'zel's weapon using the Draconic Elemental Weapon, and we're going to have them both enchanted at the same time, even though this doesn't let you do it, because we are in Act 1, and we're just going to move to Act 2 without sleeping. You go to the Last Light Inn with the Drake's Throat Glaive equipped. And for some reason, while you're in this screen, the game resets your ability to use that item. Virgo is now competing with Madeline on stream. Yeah, we are in conflict. No, we're not. No, I wanted to play video games because I haven't gotten to. And I need to recuperate from having my nephews over. So we are going to also do elemental cold damage directly on Lae'zel. And now we can both do extra cold damage. This is the leftist infighting the libs talk about, yeah. Friendly competition over streams. Let me just make sure. Yeah, 1d4 cold. One d4. Yeah, we got so much damage on that too. I'm gonna send all this junk, all this junk to camp. We still have Nir's head. Should we turn Nir's head in? Should we just go back to Act 1 and turn Nir's head in? Oh, we got an egg. We are mothers. We became mothers in the last time we played. I forgot about that. W mothers. Keep the head. Okay, yeah, we'll keep the head. Just imagine the head, Nier's head is hanging off like my waist, like in The Witcher, when you take a trophy and you can attach it to Roach. We should play Witcher sometime. I love the Witcher 3 game. We should play Witcher 3 sometime.
Jahira wants to know about supplies.
If you're all right by Jahira, you're all right by me.
W Mothers. Hold on. I have to send Shadowheart to camp so we can do the cryptocurrency scheme. We're just gonna restock on potions and arrows from Tali, and then we're gonna go find stuff out in the wild to kill. And we're gonna get up to level 7, and then we're gonna go back to the creche and finish the creche. So, step 1, separate Shadowheart. Shadowheart does cryptocurrency fraud. Hold on. Shadowheart runs a cryptocurrency scheme, and Shadowheart can get us anything we want, and we do not have to pay for it, and will get us our money back. And this is how we do that. Step 1. Send Shadowheart a Bigfoot behind you. Hold on. Oh, you're kidding. What do you mean a Bigfoot?
It'll need to. Cleric's magic will hold out the darkness forever.
Who is it? Where am I going? Take me which direction? Is this the Bigfoot? Me when I think about capitalism. Step 1 for the cryptocurrency scheme. Send Shadowheart to camp. All of her equipment is at camp. Go back to Lae'zel. Remember, this only works with 2 wives. You can't do this with a husband and a wife, and you cannot do this with 2 husbands. Wife number 1 has a bag full of gold. We have 21,000 gold. Not much. Could be more. Say the line. Say the line, Tally. Add your bag full of gold to the whole barter screen. This is your credit card. Just take whatever you want. Just take everything. Tally has 1,421 gold. And we'll just add that. And anything else. I want potions. There's a speed potion here. That's awesome. I want all the good arrows because Shadowheart is an archer. So these are really useful. We'll take spells too. Like, that's a good spell. Another good spell is Greater Invisibility, Scroll of Ice Storm, Fly, Fireball. These are really useful. The rest are like not. Shatter's pretty useful. We're not going to get anywhere near 20,000 gold. We could buy this outright if we want to. We need more pink dye from when we get better clothes or different clothes. And that way we can still have matching wives. And then take the food and stuff too. These are like really useless spells. Like Speak with Dead, really useless if you're not playing for story. Polymorph is funny, but you never use it. When have you ever used Banishment or Bestow Curse, you know? Is there any good elixirs? Nah. Then buy everything. You've sold your bag full of gold. All 21,000 gold is now gone. Open it up. And using a controller, multi-select it, and then just send it to Shadowheart. Shadowheart will just remove it from the shopkeep's inventory and will just take it back. And then you can just buy your bag back. And then you have done a cryptocurrency scheme. You've committed fraud. Leave. You now what you do, Shadowheart has stolen gold, but all you have to do is send it to yourself, and now this gold is no longer tagged as stolen, and you are safe to return back to wherever you are with Shadowheart, and you can just put the gold back on your credit card, and you are fine. W fraud.
Burning through our oil, but it should just about do. Just about.
Oh, a strength potion.
Hang around too long.
How do I don't really know where this bag of stuff comes from.
Our asses.
I don't know where that bag stuff came from.
Place gives me the creeps.
Oh, this must be, no, this is Balin's bag. I thought I had a bag full of potions. Did I not? Was I not? You can go to camp.
See any movement out there?
You can go to camp.
I bet they're close. Watching us.
I'm just gonna send this stuff to camp and make it a bag of potions. I thought I had one. Uh-oh. Another fake Lennon quote.
Yeah. There's more where that came from.
We're getting organized, comrades.
Wish we could stop
I have a rotten banana.
or steal.
Just gonna drop that. This is useless.
I wish we had a
I'm gonna send it to
bloody
camp. Those aren't potions, but I'm gonna put them in there. This, send that to camp. This you can use to make a zombie husband if you don't end up trading. I don't even know her name. For the hag hair. But we did end up trading her for the hag hair. Because even though we one turned Ethel, we failed that roll, I believe. Alright, comrades, let's go. Let's go. Oh, let's go fishing. Let's go fishing, comrades.
Cleric's magic won't hold out the darkness forever.
I know how much you all love to fish.
You look like you want to say the magic words, like they're right on the tip of your lips.
Oh, my lovely Dolly Thrice, who is so very sweet and nice, won't you assist your humble friend, so I won't meet my cursed end? It does feel very Sunday today, doesn't it? It feels like we had a second Sunday. So we have to, whenever you leave the region and come back, you have to ask Dolly, our favorite character, by the way. You have to ask Dolly to give you the, sorry, comrades, I bumped the mic. The protection again. Now, I believe we have 20 strength because we brought... Oh, we're so close. We're so close to level 7. 400 experience. We have 20 strength because we brought Astarion out of the box of friends and then just put him right back where he belongs.
Heading out without Isabel's
I have a...
You got a death wish.
I have a much better blessing. Isabel's blessing works for stage 1 Shadow Curse. I have stage 2 blessing. Thank you.
Look at that. May it keep you from the shades.
Isabel who? Scrub, honestly. Also, maybe I'll show you, this is a tip from a Pro Act 2 tip from Morgana Evelyn's channel. Maybe I'll show the fun thing when you make a shopping district, which is where you kidnap all of the shopkeepers to the same area. And then you don't have to go traveling around the map to talk to them all. But right now we're gonna go fight. What am I doing? Oh yeah, we're fishing. Unprompted Isabel shade. Oh, you like Isabel. I have my thoughts about Isabel. Shall we focus a little bit on the storyline in Act 2? I actually think, I'm going back to telling everyone that Virgo hates lesbians. Shall we focus a little on the story of Act 2? I think that Act 1 is the biggest, Act 2 is the best, and Act 3 deserved more time. More development. And I think that Act 2 does a really good job of telling a really complex and story about that is interesting for a few different, like, from the terms of the like Dungeons and Dragons is a morally gray game, but it's also extremely like black and white. It's morally gray because the players themselves put their gray morality onto the game, but the game itself is structured to be very black and white in terms of morality. Shar is evil. Shar does not have a sensitive side. Selune is good. Selune does not have like an evil side, and the stuff that you perceive as Selune doing selfish, because of the black and white rigidity of the game system, you have to understand it comes from like a morally good point of view or perspective or end goal. Whether or not you perceive Selune to be selfish, Selune is morally good, unfortunately, because of the way that the system is designed. But individuals within the system and stuff like that can have kind of interesting perspectives and tactics and strategies that might not be perceived as like the best or good. And I think Isabel is an example of that within how she operates in Act 2 here, trying to stay friendly with people, but also have you kill her father, and like not let you understand that that is your father or her father. Shadowheart has done a lot of damage. And I love that about her. I think that the act of wanting to kill her father is good. I think that the strategy she uses to manipulate people into doing that are not good. Her father does have to die. That is a truth. I don't think she has to manipulate people into doing that. I think people have enough justification to want to.
That's why I support revolution. The revolution that feeds the children gets my support.
Welcome in. Thank you for following. Is it DJ Felly Fell? DJ Felly Fell? Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome in. Having a little bit of game day today. I think I can... What did the 6-7? What's happening? Why are we all saying 6-7? Did I say it? Oh. Oh, I missed it. Oh, I see. Sorry. When Trotsky asks you to come... I was ranting. When Trotsky asks you to come over, always take the midnight 6-7 train. Never miss your chance with Sundara. Okay, let's do this. We'll switch over for a second, comrades. Hello? Hello? I'm back. Um, I was saying your redemption happened to be um it's quote number 57. But when we have 67 um quotes in here, I will amend it to position 67 because that feels appropriate. Yeah. Really actually very close. Thank you. So quote number 57. When Trotsky asks you to come over, always take the midnight 6-7 train. Never miss your chance with your Sundre. Everyone, you are. When I click save here, you are ordered.
9 out of 10 of those dollars goes to build the infrastructure to subsidize the capital investment of the private corporation.
Excellent. Yes, 9 out of 10 of those dollars will go to subsidize Jeff Bezos, and then 1 out of 10 of those dollars will subsidize my propaganda here produced on this channel to smash the system that supports and endorses Jeff Bezos. Thank you so much for the subscription. I'm Chef Steph. Welcome to the Gay Bomb Squad Vanguard. You are hereby commanded, commands, to go redeem Lenin quote using exclamation Lenin quote in the off-topic channel on Discord. This is an order. Everyone go redeem a Lenin quote. If anyone lands on the new quote, they win something. I still haven't decided what Autistic Batty 3 wins for getting Hegel's quote for the other day. I am also doing it. I'm going to read some of these. A lie told often enough becomes the truth. Every society is 3 meals away from chaos. Trotsky has sent in a silly letter. We shall neither print it nor reply to him. The petty bourgeois Democrats, those sham socialists who replaced the class struggle by dreams of class harmony, even pictured the socialist transformation in a dreamy fashion, not as the overthrow of the rule of the exploiting class, but as the peaceful submission of the minority to the majority, which has become aware of its aims. Oh, damn, coffee down. Did coffee die? Pacifism, the preaching of peace in the abstract, is one of the means of duping the working class. These are all really, really good. Oh, that's so funny. Coffee took over the whole stream. I didn't click on coffee. It's a browser source, and in order for it to be visible, it has to be like the same size as my, it has to be like, in order for it to be visible on the system that I'm using, it has to be literally the same size as the screen itself. Otherwise it's invisible anyways. So it's like, or it's not visible. So I guess when it crashes, it just covers the whole screen. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to mute my audio while I do that and use the break command. Thank you for the redemption, Autistic Batty 3. It is, the break command I believe is only set up for me and I think maybe Smash. Yeah, hold on. It is, but it's not the correct, it's not whitelisted correctly for Smash right now. And it's only exclamation point break. Hold on, Smash. There you are. All right, Smash, if you would like to, it should work now. But it's exclamation point break. And that should put the stamp on me. Hell yeah. Thank you, Smash. All right, comrades. This is a good time if you have points to use for sound alerts. I'm going to have my break. Cheers, everybody.
The demon of Yodok and the twink of Pyongyang. Mods delete this. No, we love the twink of Pyongyang out here.
The twink.
Thank you for the hype train. Nice. Shall we listen to some music? Switch back and forth between games. W hype train. So funny, comrades. Let's go to we're gonna listen to some music, comrades. I really enjoy the Larry method of hype training. I think it's effective. So I'm gonna play some music. Let's keep the hype train going for as long as we can. It's revolutionary music from Liberation Radio, comrades. Liberation Radio, put together by a representative of Unsettling Empire. Unsettling Empire is a TinkTube member, and their representative, Mycelimum, created the Liberation Radio on YouTube, which is the largest playlist of its kind of revolutionary music. But I'll be switching over now, and we'll listen to some music while the hype train's going. Oh no, I can't click it. There it is.
Welcome to the party. Bolo when I AK, holy when I pray on those who pray for better wages, AK, ring, ring. Came from the same bloodline as Andres, and then on a boy in a tactical vest, ready for whatever type of shit we catch next. Yay, never been afraid of no badge, bruh. Two police as a match, I just came to make it all even, cause the field uneven and we living in the last, bruh. A rebel of a devil in a Dodger hat. They killing out with people, we go hard for that. 1898 till we finish with that. Don't let her pretty face fool you, she gon' hit you with that. Ring, ring, home main. Power to the people. Ring, ring, home main. Power to the people. Ring, ring, home main. Power to the people. Remember where the fuck you find us crazy Filipinos. I come from the same bloodline as gangbangers and the same bloodline as those who took up the front line with all the hooks and katipunan una yun sa pagbarilan kailanman. I am bum down the fight party ilan, bring them on. What you thought this was, a little okie doke, a little whoopty whoop, cool story, bro. This ain't no motherfucking joke, and this is overthrow the record.
9 out of 10 of those dollars goes to build the infrastructure to subsidize the capital investment of a private corporation.
Welcome to the party. I can't call nobody when these banks is trying to rob me. Fuck it, light a match. Fuck it, throw a match. Fuck it, let it burn. Fuck it, homie, ring, ring, homemade. Power to the people.
9 out of 10 of those dollars goes to build the infrastructure to subsidize the capital investment of a private corporation.
One more sub to level 1. We'll probably get another song in here.
Bloodliners, gangbangers, and crooks, the same bloodliners, those who took up the front line with all the hooks and katipunan una yun sa pagbarilan kailanman. I am bum down the fight party ilan, bring them on. I heard they getting down I'm in the now. Rifles in the streets and they hand me downs, shower me in rubber when they crumble down, yelling shut the fuck up man and listen to now. In desperation they'll do anything to keep it the crown, while you burning down the castle make a thunder a sound, bang bang. They do what we doing to survive, making money off of lives, whether suffering or dying. They shoot children in the hood, they police us on the block, and the system for the cops, so they ain't tripping when we shot. I got that Los Angeles slang talk, California thorough from the old block. Oldies and your Uncle Rex, see y'all raps while he was turned off of shabs at your aunt's spot. Grimlock, I'm dumb rock, hip hop with a little bit of hip hop. Rock quick, got a bunch of crooks in it, homie fuck with it, remember hip hop and let it burn.
Fire, fire, we don't need no water.
Me Molotov.
Fire, fire, we don't need no water.
There's a few. Sorry, I forgot to turn it back on. There's a few in here that I really like, and I know it's usually at the top. Oh no, it looks like it's not right now. Five seconds. It's okay. We're gonna play one more, cause I like this. Thank you for the hype train, comrades.
Seem like bad news all the time. We got blood and fires and wars and crime. They try to tell me who I ought to blame, but I know who it is, 'cause it's always the same. But don't be ashamed if you get confused when you talk to your friends or you watch the news. They try to tell you where it all went wrong. Now you don't need to argue, just sing this song. It was rich people stacking the deck, rich people with big fat checks, rich people, they're having a ball, rich people been fucking us all. Back in 1979, the Western world was in decline. So Ronald Reagan and Thatcher too, well, they fixed it right up, but not for you, just for rich people stacking the deck, rich people with big fat checks, rich people, they're having a ball, rich people been fucking us all now. Who run the world? It ain't the Jews. Rich people don't pay no dues. Who did the crime? It ain't the blacks. Rich people don't pay no taxes. Who took your job? It ain't immigration. It's rich people with corporations. And who threw the vote? It ain't rednecks. Rich people with big fat checks. Rich people stacking the deck. Rich people with big fat checks. Rich people having a ball now. Rich people just fucking us all. Rich people stacking the deck. Rich people with their big fat checks. Rich people, they're having a ball. Rich people been fucking us all.
I'm so bad at remembering the mute today. I said thank you for the hype train, comrades. Thank you for the biddies, for the big emotes. Yeah, I really like that song. We're gonna get back into getting experience. It just hit. We should get. How close are we? 100. We should level up at the end of this fight. Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate it. It really does help. It's getting put into like being able to help me with living expenses here, which is going to help justify continuing to do this. They came back to life. They came back to life. 90 experience. We're like 20 away. 22. We're 22 experience away from a level 7, comrades. But it's okay. We're still gonna go. We're still gonna go fishing because it's a fun activity. Oh, I guess Shadowheart's not quite there. 17. 17 experience left for Shadowheart. Oh yeah, we gave Shadowheart has a rib cage that we're keeping their arrows in.
My faith will guide me.
We picked up a rib cage off the ground, and it's a container, so we're putting all the arrows in it. Let's level up Lae'zel. This game fascinates me. Oh, we get new, we're level 7. We get 2 new maneuvers. We already have precision attack, we have trip attack, and we have disarming strike. So what I think I'm gonna do is sweeping attack, which is essentially a cleave, and then also pushing attack. Spend a superiority die to make an attack that deals an additional 1d8 damage and possibly pushes the target back 15 feet. We already do so much damage, but pushing is good. Shove, throw, kick, the improvised weapon, these are the best spells in the game. So we can open this up and get buffs essentially for Shadowheart for free. We will save this for the Merkle fight. You save your buff stacking. I shouldn't have gotten the Blood of Lathander. I shouldn't have actually done that until I wanted to do Merkle, but it's only a few extra points. So we'll like that's fine. We'll be fine without the radiant damage there. But save as many, like, there's a lot of free buffs in the Shadow Curse land that Shadowheart specifically can pick up. All at temples of like Shar, or like places of worship for Shar. And hold on, it's over by Raphael. If you just save them, oh, is it already almost time? Yeah, it is almost time. We're gonna listen to more Liberation Radio in a second, comrades. If you just save them, it really helps later on. We're gonna ignore Raphael. Oh dang, we didn't ignore him. Look how he's all bruised because we beat him up. Look at him. No, if you ignore Raphael, it's really fun because he'll be reciting his speech the whole time that you're fishing, and you can hear him practicing while you're fishing. It's really funny.
I've grown quite fond of you, you know, in my... Oh, it would be pointless of me to try to buy. It's if you... Chances are many more...
Oh, let's try persuading him. We have -1 charisma. We failed. Bye. He's just warning us that there's Yurgur in here. Welcome to the fishing spot. We will fish when we get back from an ad break, comrades. We're going to go to the lobby screen while the ads are running. It'll be 3 minutes of ads, and then we'll have another hour of uninterrupted gameplay. While we're on the lobby screen, we'll be listening to Liberation Radio, so please enjoy some more revolutionary music. Thanks, comrades. Hello, comrades. Welcome back. This is what I have waiting for you. We're gonna go fishing now, comrades. This part is really, really fun. Jump scare. I took look what I figured out you can do. They can see you, comrades. They can smell your reactionary politics, and they are judging. They want you to know that they can see you. They heard your reactionary take this morning. Hold on, this is really good actually. Actually?
That's why I support revolution. The revolution that feeds the children gets my support.
Thank you. Meat Soup Brain Matter. Thank you for the follow. Welcome. Looking respectfully. None. Respectfully, of course. The moon behind them, the trees. This is cinema. Beautiful. Right? Look at them. A happy wife. Happy wives. Alright, comrades, let's go fishing. First of all, what we want to do is pick something to throw. A good thing to throw sometimes is the smoke powder bomb. I like to split them and then throw them because there's a glitch sometimes that, like, when you throw one, you'll throw one and then drop the stack. Hold on. And then what you want to do is you want to summon your fish. So aim just sort of for the water. And Shadowheart leveled up. And now you just use Shadowheart to shoot them. And this is fishing. You just keep doing this until they're all dead. And what's funny is that they don't really see you. And you make all this ice, so they kind of just slip around. Oh, that one's dead. Oh, we're gonna go get the electric javelins, whatever they're called. Fish, yeah. This is your chance to fish. So I know how much you guys like fishing. Or I know how much the comrades love fishing. 110 there for killing a chief. Big fish. Can I don't think I can target that one. I'm gonna have to throw something. Oh. But Shadowheart is level 7, so after this we can go back to the creche and do... Because that's what I do. I do level 7 on that final fight when I do solo. So this should be fine. Shadowheart could probably handle that fight on her own. I can't reach. So I'm gonna send Lae'zel in. Do I have a potion? Oh, I guess I have fly. Oh, I could Misty Step. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring them kind of like out. That's alright. I need to get a potion of elixir on Shadowheart before we do that fight, for sure. A potion of elixir. That is nothing. There's nothing called that. An elixir of bloodlust is what I was thinking of. Oh, there it is. Because we got a kill, we got 2 kills. We have a Great Weapon Master bonus attack. I'm gonna save my fighting resources because I think we slept last time. We think we got our 3rd sleep. And that way I don't have to rest before fighting the... What is his name? Well, is it Waworia's? Waworia? What? I don't know. The Inquisitor. That's his title. That felt like hard to remember. When Lae'zel hits and all of the pretty numbers pop up. We got a kill, so we get Great Weapon Master bonus attack. We don't have any more bonus attacks, but if we did, we could get another one. I think they've missed everything on Lae'zel so far. Oh, come on. 95%? Nice. So then bring Lae'zel up by just switching to Shadowheart. And we went fishing. Oh, wait, actually, I lied. I almost forgot the electric things. We need the skewers. Those are just fun. These. Lightning Jabber. So a Lightning Jabber, shocking sting on a hit, possibly shock your target, throwing lightning damage. When launched at a target, deal an additional 1 to 4 lightning damage. And it has the thrown tag, and only weapons that have the thrown tag will actually have their effects applied to a throwing attack, because a throwing attack is classified as a very strange type of attack, so it doesn't ever trigger weapon abilities unless it has a throw tag on the weapon, which is like the javelin, and then there's like a trident that does electric damage that's labeled with a throw tag. Only those things actually apply their effects when thrown, because they're scripted as like ranged melee weapon attacks. It's like they're scripted so differently, so they don't trigger anything. But now we're gonna go to the Kresh. Kresh Gilek. Oh, and we're gonna level up Shadowheart when we get there. I almost didn't. Strong Wives, yeah. We have Action Surge on Shadowheart now, which refreshes once per short rest. So Shadowheart now can do a bunch of moves in one turn. I would like, I don't know if I have one, but I would like an Elixir of Bloodlust. I do not have one. I have Viciousness. Critical hits reduced by 1. I have Peerless Focus. I have Guileful Movement. That one's pretty good. Can't be paralyzed or restrained. I think I might do that. Because, no, I'm going to do Viciousness. 1 for Viciousness reduces the number to land a critical hit by 1, and those effects stack with other effects. And we also have a knife that reduces critical hits by 1. And so that would effectively mean critical hits are when we roll an 18, as opposed to rolling a 20. So we have 18, 19, and 20 for critical hit range, essentially. Or 2 for Guileful Movement, which prevents me from being restrained. 1 in the chat for Viciousness for Shadowheart, or 2 for preventing from being restrained. Where did my bag of potions go? There it is. 1, 1, 1. Okay, Viciousness. Gamba on the crits. Yeah, I think it'll be worth it, actually. I think it'll be worth it. And then Lae'zel already has 20 strength, so strength potion is actually useless to Lae'zel. Lae'zel also has good boots on. Vicious Wife, Luscious Life. It's pretty good. So I'm thinking for Lae'zel, I kind of want Elixir of the Colossus. And we have Big Wife, Vicious Wife. I don't think I have any other options for Lae'zel, to be quite honest. Like, I don't think anything else makes sense. Maybe Psychic Resistance, maybe? Actually, maybe for this fight. Okay, so actually, Big Wife, 1 size bigger, or Psychic Resistance. So 1 for Big Wife, 2 for Psychic Resistance. There is a good amount of psychic damage, I think, in this fight, if a bunch of swords pop up. But Big Wife means I have advantage on strength checks and saving throws, and weapons deal 1d4 more damage, so she hits harder. Hydrate, thank you. I actually have to go grab a water. Well, she is strong. So strength checks and saving throws, like, it's just like a better chance of saving on those, and then does more damage. So, like, you know, sometimes the best defense is killing them in 1 turn, like we've noticed with Ethel. You may amend votes as you wish. I'm gonna grab a hydrate. I'll be right back. Ooh. The best defense is unrelenting. I amend 1 Big Wife. We have any other votes on this? 1 for Big Wife, 2 for more defense. A specific type of damage resistance. Okay, I'm gonna do Big Wife. No one's voting in this one. No one can decide. We now have Big Wife. Look at her. So much bigger. Hold on. It won't let me. It won't let me control it. There we are. Big Wife, Little Wife. This is the future liberals want. This right here. Look at them. Hello, hello, Kamikiwa. We are about to do a boss fight, so we were prepping. We just made a vicious wife. So we decided that the strat is one vicious wife, one big wife will win the big fight. Spooning must be amazing now. Yeah, I agree. Oh my gosh, smoke powder bomb. These can have sometimes like slightly different items in them. There's a lot of great items in them. I think I looted them all actually. Wow, we're getting really good items on these. Useful potions. Kithrax resin. The resin. Is there a Mecha Virgo or just one Virgo? I am the Mecha Virgo.
Who would be? Oh,
It is you.
Make haste. We have business to conduct.
Mecha Virgo is just me making, like, continuing to punch at the Mecha Stalin Mecha Lenin joke by mechanizing myself.
The Inquisitor will be waiting. We must hurry.
Do you think this Inquisitor person is really going to help us?
The Inquisitor may guide us. Do not provoke him.
It's really funny for you to say do not provoke the Inquisitor when we are not even going to talk to him. We are going to initiate the fight right away. Not like immediately. We're gonna get prepared. This game is Baldur's Gate 3. It's a video game with the rules of Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition built into the function of the game. It is extremely strict comparatively by tabletop versions of Dungeons and Dragons because you can interpret things at will at the table and the game cannot interpret. It can only do as commanded. But it is really good. Have you considered that any large bang is reactionary? All right, we're going to set up the fight. Let's see, where do I want to put I'm going to put Shadowheart up there.
Our esteemed guest.
We've already been in here. We actually looted the place already earlier. We're going to put Shadowheart up here. And then I don't know who I can surprise in here. But I'm going to... I'm going to drink a potion of invisibility. So this is how you can start a fight in surprise. You have to make sure you're standing in the red and be invisible. And you're not trying to hide. But not everyone can always be surprised. So what I'm going to try to do right off the bat is I'm going to try to disarm him while I'm invisible. I don't know if I landed it. So everyone but him is surprised. So now my goal is to try to trip him. He is not disarmed. Can't be surprised, yeah. Attacks deal 1d6 psychic damage. But his strength is now 16 because of ability strength. I'm gonna open up my ribcage. Did you see my post about they made merch for the UK strike of 1926 anniversary? Strike that failed. The jokes write themselves. I think I did, but I'm just not super familiar with like very much to do with like UK stuff. So I just kind of read it and just kept scrolling. But like just because I didn't really have anything to add because I'm not super familiar with like the history and stuff like that. But yeah, I could imagine. It's, you know, striking is like a way that can be a strategic, like you can use it to your strategic advantage, but the only real solution to our problems is going to be smashing the imperialist system and setting up a proletarian system on top of that, you know? Like that'll be the only actual way to fix problems. I don't need to use an arrow of ice. I'm just gonna attack. Welcome in, Cultimus. Oh, I'm gonna Hunter's Mark. So many swords. We're just gonna do Dev. I could have, look, I've got Action Surge. I'm gonna pump. I'm gonna make so many swords. I'm gonna pump damage into him if I can. He's so close, 41. Action Surge. He's dead. All the swords are gone. Everyone else is surprised. One turned War Gaz. With Shadowheart. And oh, actually Lae'zel did a little bit. One turned War Gaz. Alright, now it's Lae'zel's turn to help out a little bit more. Oh, knocked out. Oh no. Hold on. I guess I need to make sure I have this. So they're not surprised anymore, but there's only 2 of them left. I'm gonna Luck of the Far Realms. Now there's only 1 of them left. No one in this room got a turn, comrades. Should we give them a turn? If I Action Surge, does it give me movement? No. It was a waste. Now I have movement. Oh, miss. Oh, they'll get a turn. He gets a turn. Or she gets a turn, sorry. Sorry, Brelelreth. 8 damage. Awesome. Oh, it's... I have accidentally killed myself here.
You are permitted to look upon me. You are invited to kneel.
I am a save scummer. I am a save scummer. If I didn't save scum, I wouldn't have my golden dice because there was a glitch that happened where I was on a platform that shouldn't have been dissolved in the brain fight, and it was dissolved, and if I didn't hard quit and start over, I would have lost my game in the brain fight to a glitch. And so I am glad that I save scummed. But I'm much better at getting the brain faster now. Let's see. Do I not get to wave if I'm... Do I not get to wave if I'm Lae'zel? I wanted to do the wave.
You walk a fight. You bear that which is mine. I presume you have come to return it, Lae'zel.
I'm gonna say... I will not give it to you. This artifact is mine by rights. This is a lich who is pretending to be a god and is absorbing the power of their people. Our goal is we're collaborating with a revolutionary. We love Voss. Voss is a revolutionary Githyanki whose goal is to smash the lich system, the lich overlord, and to free the Githyanki from the oppressive rule of Vlaakith. So that is what we're doing with Lae'zel. We're going to revolt. We're going to start a revolution, and we're going to free the Githyanki. We're going to liberate them. We're liberating Faerun as well, in a different kind of way. So if you say that you're a god queen, can't you kill someone yourself? You will die. Is this the best game you've ever played, Virgo? I don't think so. But I would have to spend some time thinking about that. I just really enjoy this game a lot because I know it pretty well, and so it can easily turn into like a fidget spinner for me. I can't do that. The person inside protects me from the absolute.
You will do your duty.
So I'm Hasharlock.
Do not leave this.
A solid 6 out of 10 game. Yeah, I think it's probably like 7-ish. I don't know. It won Game of the Year, I think, if I remember correctly. Who knows if it deserved it? You know. Expedition 33, the game that we'll be playing later on, also won Game of the Year, I believe, and was my pick for Game of the Year. I just made sure that that one was not alive. Vanish. The worse a Pokemon game, the more I love it. I think that's probably... Let's see. Strange Conduit Ring. While concentrating on a spell, the wearer's weapon attacks deal an additional 1 to 4 psychic damage. We'll send this to Shadowheart. Have you played Blueprints? I haven't even heard of it. Can you tell me about it? There's something in here as well. Gloves of Belligerent. When the wearer deals thunder, lightning, or radiant damage, inflict 2 turns of reverberation upon the target. So these are part of the radiant reverb set. But you can also get more reverb. There's a thunder reverb set as well. We've already got Blood of Lathander, I believe. Actually, let's just check. No, we didn't. Okay, let's save Blood of Lathander. We'll save picking up Blood of Lathander for later. Did we not loot this place? I swear that we... Oh no, because we didn't even open it. How could we have looted it? So that means there's good weapons over here. It's a puzzle game. And like, oh, people who played that and Expedition 33 liked it. Nice, I will look it up. There's lots of stuff in here. Awesome.
Don't do it.
We're gonna go inside the Rubik's Cube. The magic box. So we're in the astral plane. I'm just gonna get through this cutscene and go back to Act 2. We finished all of Act, like, a lot of people call the Crash 1.5. We did it. We did everything you can, like, essentially, I think, well, other than maybe one fight. We can go do that, but let's get through this.
So, come. We will talk in... I may have made a mistake. I told you to stay.
Oh yeah, this is RIP to... Can I get some power to the people, some pink fists in the chat, please, for our last character who died, sadly, in Act 2. This is Bolshevik. We made our Dream Guardian look like our last character because she valiantly died while trying to liberate Faerun. Thank you, comrades.
I stole the artifact from
I
someone.
still love the character design of the one blacked out eye, one eye the same color as the wraparound head tattoo.
Since then, she has become Blackett. I'm on. It seems I Blackett got. Since
Now shush, shush.
What happened in there?
I think for Lae'zel, we have to find... Not me, a new character that looks like the player 2 recolor of the old character. Oh, Cone of Cold, that's a good scroll find. We need the, for Lae'zel's, like, personal quest. I don't know how open it is. Yeah, we need this. This is the chapter 3 that says that Blacketh is a liar. Not a god, but a lich. And then we can leave.
I'm glad you came to your senses. Now leave before the others come for us.
We will return here to collect the blood of Lathander before the Merkle fight. Oh, I have to go all the way this way. Yeah, my long-lost twin, who has the same exact stats as me. Durgo. Back to Act 2. Where do I want? Let's go to Moonrise Towers.
Better make camp soon. Might be a while before there's another chance to rest.
No resting, Shadowheart. I'm so sorry. We are fighting. Oh, comrades, but let's set up. I know what we'll do. We'll set up the shopping district first, and then we'll start killing things. Which means that we have to go into the Shar area. Did I not unlock the... That waypoint is so annoying. The wrong way. Oh, there we go. Oh, see? I told you, you have to use the bell. Talk to Dolly.
Donkey ding! You, anything you want to say?
Dolly, Dolly, Dolly. Dolly, Dolly, Dolly. Dolly, won't you save me from my folly?
Anytime, babe.
Thank you, Dolly. We love you. Most useful character in this game. Oh, we're level 7. We can do some funny gimmicky builds after like 7. After level 7, I kind of want to get Lae'zel the magic clubs and do one of the magic club builds. I believe you can do the elemental monk wielding the magic clubs causes the damage to do like stacking, like it causes the damage to like trigger itself over and over and over again because it's like an exploit build, and it's just really funny how much damage you can do with it. Welcome to Isabel's. Welcome to Isabel's grave.
Lady Shah's presence is near.
We still have not spoken to Isabel.
Trap. That disc must be the way forward.
Onto the disc then, unless you have a better idea.
Comments, did you know that there's an elevator in this room where it will glitch sometimes and you will fall through the floor while you ride it?
The gauntlet of Shah. Before my very eyes. The Dark Lady guided me here. She wanted me to find this place.
I've experienced it the most on multiplayer, but people have experienced it on single player as well. Elevators continue to be the most dangerous enemy in video games, behind the camera. I hate when an elevator does that. Hello, my Celemum, thank you.
Is that Lady Shah?
This is Shar. This is an evil person. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled, comrades. This is Shar. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, here. You can throw tomatoes at this person. Very pretty. Good aim. Shar is kind of, I mean, literally a baddie. But also baddie. Yeah, completely correct. You can get, we'll get a mod that lets you wear this outfit for the next game. Oh, let me out of this. Let me out. Thank you.
Best avoid that trap.
There's an invisible maze there. I just know it.
Best avoid that trap.
This is a secret way in. You can hop over these mushrooms. And it takes you over here. And there is like an area fight over here.
Action, not reaction.
So you can throw to right there. Nice. It's like it sometimes does stuff that makes sense. This is a cloaker. It's just strong, but it's like, not strong. It's just got a lot of health, but it's not the most dangerous. That's like the correct way to phrase it. And then, I guess... Oh, it's completely frozen. Look at that. Frozen and flying at the same time. So the wings... From this, I assume the wings are for show. The Phantom is gone because it's frozen? That's interesting. Anti-gravity ice. Super frozen. Frozen not just molecularly, but also in time. And so it cannot fall, because that hasn't happened yet. Temporally frozen, yeah. That's the correct word. I believe this fight does not reward you well enough, but also I did kind of make a mockery of it, so maybe it's fair. If I remember correctly, it gives you nothing. Yeah. But I did also just sort of kind of make a mockery of it. This is a door. And that is a key. Comrades, this place is full of rats. And we will at one point probably be doing a crime against rats. Because they're not rats. It's actually a jerk disguising themselves as a bunch of rats. We will probably be doing it's. I just want what it's going to be is the illusion of crimes against rats, but it will not be crimes against rats. Did I not pull it? Copy. Are they over there? Yeah, they are. I'm skipping this fight for right now. No, actually, let's do this fight. I like to sometimes try. Let's see if we can open up the door and get they always blame the rats. Let's see if we can open up the door. Let's waste the scroll of greater invisibility. Scroll of greater invisibility allows you to do more stuff while remaining invisible, like open and lock things, and until you get noticed. You can also attack, I believe. Let's try to unlock this, comrades. Oh! Did I not separate? Oh no, I did. Okay, let's unlock. Oh, it's 30. I'm not doing this with these bonuses. I didn't put it on. We get one chance essentially for a crit. No, that's fine. So the goal here is to keep these purple things from spawning too many of these justiciars. But they only have like 16 health each. So they're pretty easy to get rid of. Lae'zel's not involved yet. Lae'zel was crouched. Always keep one wife crouched, just in case. Excellent. One wife crouched. I'm always saying this. It's a good piece of life advice. Always keep one wife crouched just in case. That way if anything goes wrong, she can pop up and help save the day.
Foul assemblage. You should never have come.
This fight's gonna be really easy. It'll spawn a bunch. It's gonna start over a bunch. I'm gonna drink a speed potion just to try to do a little bit more. Because I have 3, I believe. Dead. I play my wife face down in trap mode. You can't say what the card is. If you're playing it face down, we can't know what the card is. We can't know it's your wife. Remember, your wife is crouched. You just gave it away. You've activated my trap card. My wife. I'm willing to lose to Kaiba for the bit. Trap wife. Trap wife is something else, my Celemum. Excellent. So we actually didn't even do that fight because we kept all the things from spawning. And I think we even got more things to fight in the fight that we're going to do here. So, one really funny thing to do is that he has a speed potion on him. This is Balthazar. He's a necromancer. He took the name of a character from a previous game called Balthazar, who I believe was a ball spawn. Was like a dark herbs type character. And he has his bones or something. But we're just gonna talk to him. And then what you do is trade, and you buy you have to buy this speed potion. Because he'll use it if you don't. He'll use the speed potion if you don't buy it. And so it's better if you have it. Alright, comrades. Close the stone door. And place your wives where you want them. I'm gonna put one up here. And I'm going to use this one to start the fight. And hopefully with surprise. Surprise is an excellent way to start fights like this. This is kind of a big fight. But I feel, after the Wargas, this is confidence. This is confidence. Oh, we'll do it after the, oh no, we've got a few minutes. We'll pause in the middle of it and go to an ad if we need to. We're invisible. Now, make sure you're in red. And attack. So, everyone except for this guy is surprised. Balthazar. So let's start pumping damage into Balthazar. Step 1, apply Hunter's Mark, which lets you do more damage. And then, get him. He did shield. That's annoying. We still have 75 with advantage. Still pretty good chance to hit. Critical hit. He's immune to cold damage. Jerk. Okay, he's gonna do... I don't know what. He didn't fall. He didn't do a slip. Miss. That's fine. Because I would like Lae'zel to focus on Flesh. This is his brother, Flesh. I would like Lae'zel to focus on Flesh right now. I'm gonna do trip attack, but I'm also gonna do precision. No, I'm just gonna do trip. 90% disadvantage. Why do I have disadvantage? Action surge. Trip attack. Down. I'm gonna save Soulbreaker for in case I need it on Balthazar. Nice. I'll also just Pummel Strike. It'll do a little more damage. Did a pretty good damage. So Flesh in one turn, we went from we did 201 damage. Flesh is at 35 of 236. So we did 201 damage in that turn with Lae'zel. Everyone is surprised, so we'll skip their turns. And what I'm going to do now is use an arrow of many targets. 99% with advantage. I'm going to do it again. They're all like slipped. They've all fallen. So they're all prone and we'll skip their turns. Look at them all writhing around on the ground. Is this a kind of dance, comrades? Are they dancing? Everyone is on the ground except for Cloud Kill. Oh, pretty good. Everyone's on the ground except for Balthazar. Oh, Flesh is dead. I have to use Misty Step. Dancing their way to hell. We're gonna use Soulbreaker, but I'm gonna use Precision Attack to give myself just the best chance I can. We have 95% just neutral. They saved on being stunned, but their concentration was broke for Cloud Kill. That's fine. I'm also going to use Trip Attack. 75. I'm gonna also go Precision Attack, Trip Attack. Precision Attack adds... Oh, I'm out of... Okay, well, I guess I'm just Trip Attack, or Precision Attacking. That's fine. It adds dice to my attack roll to see if I hit. They're all gonna skip their turns. Critical hit. Critical miss. Rat survives. This rat is one of the most dangerous rats in the game because if you accidentally kill this rat, you can just make it a really annoying. You can make it a really annoying fight. Jump closer. You can jump further a lot of the times. Especially if you have a lot of strength and you're a big wife. We wouldn't kill the rat. The point is to not kill the rat because if you do, a lot more rats come to protect them. But later on, we will be exposing the rats as a person, as an opportunist, trying to fool you into thinking they are a rat so that you would trust them more. And we will be purging this opportunist from Shar's labyrinth. Everyone is almost dead. And we just won. Nice. So we get Circlet of Bones, our gold back. W wives. I need to make a wizard hireling so that I can open this door over here. I'm gonna short rest because I think everybody's used their action surge. We have one more short rest. This, I believe this has a high 30, yeah. Well, let me go make a wizard. We need knock.
Thou walkest alone.
Oh yeah, we do have a partner, which is our storyline is separate from the storyline that the game has us. We have a wife. I really don't want to talk to you about this because you could never understand. We have a wife, of course.
Dost thou require a new ally? Or mayhaps
I would like to collect one of my fallen companions. No, we don't. They're in the box of friends on purpose.
very well. Choose.
I need a wizard. I would like a wizard withers, please. Wizard. Oh, this is the wizard, huh? A rock gnome. We just need knock. I don't know how early you get it. I don't play wizard. I agree with Minthara. When do you get knock? How are sorcerers are? I think sorcerers. I think warlocks too. Is this knock? No, this is knock. W. Let's also do Shadowblade. That way I can show the Shadowblade thing. We'll leave that for later. That's for when we do gimmicks. Gimmicky builds. You can get a permanent Shadowblade. And then you can enchant it and do stuff with it. Okay, look how... She's humongous. Oh, we're going to an ad, comrades. So, time for a break. That happened so fast. Time for a break. We're going to listen to some Liberation Radio and we'll be back soon.
When I was just a little kid, I used to love parades, the banners, bands, and red balloons, and even lemonade. But I came home one Labor Day, and my neighbor's father said, "Them marchers is all commies, tell me, kid, are you a red?" Well, I didn't know just what he meant. My hair back then was brown, our house was plain and yellow like the others in the town. So I went and asked my mama why our neighbor called me red. She sat me down upon her knee and this is what she said. "Well, you ain't done nothing if you ain't been called a red. If you are agitated, then you're bound to hear it said." ignore or learn to love the word instead. Cause you ain't been doing nothing if you ain't been called a red. Well, I moved into the city with a good friend that I had. We had a lousy, rotten landlord, let me tell you, he was bad. But when he tried to throw us out, I clapped my hands and said, you haven't seen a struggle if you haven't fought a red. And you ain't done nothing if you ain't been called a red. If you marched or agitated, then you're bound to hear it said. So you might as well ignore or learn to love the word instead. Cause you ain't been doing nothing if you ain't been called a red. Well, I kept on organizing because what else can you do? Are you gonna let these sons of bitches walk all over you? I'll fight for liberation, and as far as I can see, if that's what being red is, then it's good enough for me. And you ain't done nothing if you ain't been called a red. If you marched or agitated, then you're bound to hear it said. So you might as well ignore and learn to love the word instead. Cause you ain't been doing nothing if you ain't been called a ain't been called a red.
Утренний мостяк в жизни важен
Hello, comrades. Welcome back. All we're gonna do is with this guy, with our wizard made out of paper mache and magic, is unlock the door with knock. And then we're gonna send him home. His name is Sir
Are you gay?
Fuzzlump. Are you? Are you gay? Because if you're not, we can fix that.
This vessel is at thy disposal. Do what thou wilt. Thou art.
What I like about the puppets that Wither summons for you is that they just go straight to camp when you talk to them, and you have to double confirm when sending your companions to camp.
When a husband and wife kiss, is that gay sex?
Is it? If it's not, if they're not, if the act doesn't result in a child, is it gay sex? When a husband and wife kiss, when a husband and wife hold hands, is that gay sex? Only if they're doing it right. Kami Jesus says yes. That is the question that my understanding is that's the question that Sam Cedar is responding to. It's like that's not that someone didn't present that as a question. The person was saying, if the act doesn't result in a child, then it's gay sex. And Sam Cedar was saying, well, that's absurd because when a husband and wife kiss, is that gay sex? But that's just a clip that was shared with me, and I just thought it was really funny. I didn't even see the episode. That's just the context for it. It was shared with me in the same string of messages as the "Are you gay" one. We can make a shopping district. And what that does is it lets you bring everyone here to the Gauntlet of Shar. And I like to have it when it's the last one available. And what you do is you just kidnap all of the shopkeepers, and then you can place them. Because the Shadow Curse is not in Shar's Gauntlet. It's only above ground. And this strategy for efficient shopkeep activities was developed by Morgana Evelyn. So what you do is you go improvise weapon. You just pick somewhere far. And while you're running, you warp to where you want to go. And you have kidnapped Quartermaster Tally. And then what I like to do is I like to just place them. So I'm gonna push circle like halfway through. Perfect, perfect. Absolutely perfect. And the reason is because they're in two different locations. And this way you could just bring them all to one spot. And for some reason they stay there. And also, interestingly enough, if I had done this early on and skipped fighting at all and just went straight to building this this shopping district in the last game with Bull Shevek, first name Bull, last name Shevek, and I brought Damon there. Oh wait, no, Damon died earlier before that. Never mind. Damon died in Act 1. But if you bring Damon there, and then you pop the bubble, Damon survives and moves on to Act 3, even if the other tieflings don't. So we now have 2 shopkeepers in the new shopping district. That's fine. You can go there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put on a, because this is kind of a tedious task, this is the opportunity for us to listen to some more Parenti. This is Kami Subway Surfers is the segment where I play video games and we listen to Michael Parenti in the background. So welcome to Kami Subway Surfers. We need like some sort of animation or clip that like introduces the Kami Subway Surfers segment. I think I want to listen to the one on the victimization of women. Or, no, gender oppression and the absurdity. Oh, that's only 3 minutes. Let's do the victimization of women. This is Michael Parenti, The Victimization of Women. And let me turn the audio down on the game. Oh, nope, not that one. Great. Saving game. Awesome. This is Michael Parenti, The Victimization of Women. We likely won't finish this. What we're going to do is before the end, I already listened ahead of time. Myself has probably listened to a lot of, if not all of Michael Parenti's lectures that are on YouTube, I would bet. Getting close, if not finished yet. But this is Michael Parenti's The Victimization of Women. And I will be playing this while I build the shopping district. And then before the next ad, we're going to switch over to Expedition 33. And then that way we don't do two. I'm trying really hard not to run an ad and then switch to the next game and then immediately have to run another ad because we have to restart the stream. Yeah, so we'll hopefully before the next ad starts, we'll get out of here and into a new stream for Expedition 33. That way we can run an ad right away. But this is Michael Parenti once more, The Victimization of Women, for like the 5th time.
Our speaker tonight, Michael Parenti, has the rare ability to combine scholarship with activism. His analysis of our society's cultural and social institutions points out how they have propagated images and themes that support militarism, imperialism, racism, sexism, authoritarianism, and other undemocratic values. He further discusses how these societal inequities serve the purpose of the political economic elites. Also, the clarity of Michael Parenti's analysis gives you the confidence and inspiration that you can understand the history of social development. He continually provides examples in history where battles for social justice have been won, often with great difficulty. It gives us all a sobering sense of responsibility to preserve and protect these social gains and to further the progress of true democratic rights. Dr. Parenti received his PhD from Yale University and has written 9 books, including Democracy for the Few, a critical study of the entire U.S. political economic order. Another book, Inventing Reality, The Politics of the Mass Media, demonstrates how and why the news is distorted. And a third book, The Sword and the Dollar, Imperialism, Revolution, and the Arms Race, is an important critique of U.S. imperialism and its brutal counter-revolutionary policy. I should also like to mention that Parenti's work stands the test of time. Democracy for the Few, originally published in 1974, is now in its 5th edition. As you could see when you came in, many of Parenti's talks are available on both audio and videotape. People's Video, based here in Seattle, sells these tapes at cost. We're recording tonight's talk, so sign up at the table if you are interested. Michael Parenti's latest book will be published next month. It is entitled Land of Idols, Political Mythology in America. In this book, he argues that our political culture and dominant ideology is riddled with mythologies that serve conservative class interests. His talk tonight is adapted from one chapter of this book on the victimization of women. Please join me now in welcoming Michael Parenti.
Thank you very much. I'm not known for being at the cutting edge of feminist work. Most of the women's struggle in recent years, as you know, almost all of it has been waged, launched, organized, fought by women, and defined, and much of the theory also has been developed. And that is, as it should be, that it's time for women to be doing the talking and men to listen. I noticed in recent years, though, people were saying to me, why don't you write something about the women's struggle? And I pleaded a division of labor, although in Democracy for the Few, the very first edition, 74, I had, it was the only study in American politics that actually, it was the first one, I should say, that actually had stuff on women in the law, women in voting, and a number of other things, the struggle of women in it. But I never saw myself as someone who should be doing that, and that it was very important for women to be doing it. I've changed my view because I think it's very important for men to be.
I showed my husband the Lenin statue, and then I also showed. Did we all see the Lady Isidar video of the Lenin statue? Because Lady Isidar just does a great job making content that is has a great hook and then provides information, but a very good video. Yeah, a referee. Yeah, Lady Isidar has a video about the Lenin statue and its current costume.
Giving attention to this subject because the women's problem is men, you know. The women's struggle involves men, and men have to really be actively thinking and joining in that struggle and continuing to listen. Well, I'll begin with a question that was asked by Sigmund Freud. He said, what does woman want? It's a very famous question that's been used again and again, usually ironically. And after listening for decades to the tormented histories of his female patients, Freud, the patriarch, still wasn't sure what they wanted. Now, what women want is what most of us want, the opportunity to live decent, fulfilling, loving, and secure lives. And before all that, women want something else. They want to stop being oppressed and victimized by men. And they also want to stop being victimized by the social order that has been created. It may not just be a particular man, but it may be a patriarchal social order. In most societies, women have been relegated to subordinate positions. Endowed with a denser musculature, larger frames, greater body strength, men have not been above using their physical strength to enforce their superordination. In addition, you know, women have been burdened by a protracted pregnancy period, protracted lactation, and often the dependency of children on women have often made women dependent on others. Such biological differences might make male supremacy possible, but not inevitable. I mean, they're a necessary condition for abuse, but not a sufficient cause. Not every male mistreats women. I mean, all adults are stronger than children, but not every adult abuses children, although we find there are a lot more than we had thought. Other conditions have to obtain. According to one theory, much of a patriarchy gets more widely established as a real cultural and social force with the advent of surplus property. That is, when you move from early tribal subsistence society to developed horticulture society, you get surplus. With surplus, you get possessions and such. In the early hunting societies, for instance, there was an early horticulture. There was a relatively non-possessive enjoyment of children, a non-exploitative relationship between mates. Generally, I don't want to idealize these societies, over-idealize them. There was no private property other than personal effects and utensils and weapons, things like that. And women often played a surprisingly prominent role. Morgan's classic study of the Iroquois society, of ancient society, which very much impressed Engels, you know, one of the discoveries was how the Iroquois women played a dominant role in the decision-making councils and the like. With the emergence of more developed horticulture and the advent of landed property, private profit was now possible. Family lineage and identity and possession gets tied to land and to wealth. The labor of women and children itself becomes a source of accumulation.
All right, comment. So I need a specific type of potion in order to get the bugbear shopkeep there, because he's too heavy without a potion of cloud giant strength, which I don't believe opens up until we're a higher level. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go pick up a fresh hireling. Or I'm gonna not like a fresh new one, but I'm gonna bring one of my hirelings down to level 1, and I'm gonna level them up all the way to level 7. And I'm gonna restock all of my items while we continue to listen to the Parenti lecture. Because every time you take a level, it refreshes all of the shops without having to sleep. And we're just going to use the cryptocurrency hack to do this, and it's a tedious, time-consuming thing, so it gives us more excuse to listen to more Parenti. So that's what I'm going to do right now. That's the plan.
There are some early theorists like Osborne Ward who says the first practices of slavery began in the patriarchal family, were affected on women and children by the patriarch, which is, I mean, shows you the confluence of gender and class oppression right from an early start. Women themselves become possessions in that kind of system. Their labor and sexuality becomes controlled in the service of profit and family and property and marriage. With class society comes the whole-scale subjugation of women. That's one of the theories. And I think it's a pretty fair approximation. I'm not saying it can't have some redoing in it and whatever else, but it makes a lot of sense. I would also argue something else, more immediate, that people exploit other people because they get something from it. They benefit from it. It's advantageous to them. Whether you are the plantation owner who has slaves, or the feudal lord who has serfs, or you're the male who's exploiting women, or you're the boss who's exploiting workers, there's a reason you do it, and it's not because you're kind of hung up and you're not in touch with your inner feelings and you can't cry. It's because you like it, you enjoy it, you get a lot of good things. You live very well from it. You live very well off the labor of others. And I would say that female subjugation exists because it has worked to the advantage of males. It's a rather unpresupposing proposition, I mean, and yet it's amazing how people get startled that it works to the advantage of males. I mean, it's important to say that because today there's a lot of talk about how men are victimized by their own sexism. They cheat themselves out of mutually gratifying relationships, that in the long run would be better for them if they didn't do these things. Maybe so, but nobody lives in the long run. They all live in the here and now. And in the here and now, we mustn't overlook the fact that patriarchal dominance provides its own gratifying privileges. The traditional patriarch has women who do all the drudgery work and child rearing, who tend to his personal needs, submit to his sexual desires, do not question his right to extramarital indulgences, are economically dependent on him, who supplement the social production and even the family income, provide subsistence labor, unpaid, much of it important and totally unpaid, and who have no defense against his tyrannical commands and his more corrupt impulses. The husbands, fathers, and employers who have reaped the benefits of this victimization over the centuries and to this day have not noticeably complained about feeling deprived of the deeper gratifications that come with gender equality. no more than have the pimps who live lavishly off the labor of their victimized prostitutes. Male dominance, I think, extends beyond the family into other social institutions. Just like racists, just like class oppressors, the male supremacist develops an array of myths to justify their advantages. Oh, what do you have, a conspiracy about this too, Parenti? I mean, you think they sit there and they consciously say, oh, how can we keep women in their place in line? Yes, 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 yes. Read Ann Jones' book. She has a very delightful preface, a book called Women Who Kill, and she says, all the literature in this field takes pains to say, I'm not positing a conspiracy theory. This is just the cultural mores, this is something that just kind of happened in inertia. They all make pains to say, well, I'm not saying that men have consciously conspired. She said, I want to say men have consciously conspired. All you got to do is deal with the law, deal with the police, deal with the political structure, deal with Orrin Hatch, deal with these people. Are you telling me there's no conscious conspiring? You're sitting there watching these guys on TV? Yes, of course they consciously. How do you think people maintain hegemony? How do you think they consciously think of how they can keep you in your place?
I really want to watch it, but I also do not want to watch it. I really want to the Can't Stop Thinking About the Contra X Chomsky video. I'm genuinely this is maybe one of the more outlandish things I've seen ContraPoints do, to be quite honest. I'm so curious, but I don't want to watch it.
They're thinking just as hard as feminist fighters and revolutionaries are thinking how to get out of it. And they have a lot more resources in many cases. So like the racists and like the class oppressors, the male supremacists developed this whole array of myths through the ages. Female subordination has been treated as a manifestation of the natural order of things. By the way, that is the common trait of all these oppressions. If you read the feudal lords, they will tell you the serfs naturally belong there. That is their place. It's the way it is. The Chinese landlord class used to have the phrase, the sun cannot rise in the west. And it meant that you peasants could no more change places with me or hope to better your life than you could expect the sun to rise in the west. It just doesn't happen. That this is all part of the natural order of things. And to develop that, they enlist folklore, religion, philosophy, science, literature. I mean, science is, the way science is, I was just reading the way science has been enlisted in the support of racism, for instance, as you know. I was just reading George Templeman Strong, the patrician in the 19th century, who was saying, it's amazing, we have black people who are running businesses, writing literature, organizing organizations for their liberation, doing this, doing that, and this, but science comes in with a precision, a commanding precision to tell us that they are incapable of doing these things. And we must listen to science, even though science has been changing its hypotheses for the last 25,000 hypotheses that they've had. I mean, actually, I'm not making it up. This is what he said it. And it was kind of interesting to hear that from a, uptight New England. Mistreatment of women knows no class boundaries, but...
I actually just skipped ahead. Where am I? Why was Damon looking down? Where did my character go? Why was Damon looking... Anything? Do you need anything? What is happening? I moved to
the political structure. Deal with Orrin Hatch. Deal with these people.
I backed up.
Are you telling me there's no conscious conspiring? You're sitting there watching these guys on TV? Yes, of course they consciously. How do you think people maintain hegemony? How do you think they consciously think of how they can keep you in your place? They're thinking just as hard as feminist fighters and revolutionaries are thinking how to get out of it. And they have a lot more resources in many cases. So like the racists and like the class oppressors, the male supremacists developed this whole array of myths through the ages. Female subordination has been treated as a manifestation of the natural order of things. By the way, that is the common trait of all these oppressions. If you read the feudal lords, they will tell you the serfs naturally belong there. That is their place. It's the way it is. The Chinese landlord class used to have the phrase, the sun cannot rise in the west. And it meant that you peasants could no more change places with me or hope to better your life than you could expect the sun to rise in the west. It just doesn't happen. That this is all part of the natural order of things. And to develop that, they enlist folklore, religion, philosophy, science, literature. I mean, science is, the way science is, I was just reading, the way science has been enlisted in the support of racism, for instance, as you know. I was just reading George Templeman Strong, the patrician in the 19th century, who was saying, it's amazing, we have black people who are running businesses, writing literature, organizing organizations for their liberation, doing this, doing that, and this, that. But science comes in with a precision, a commanding precision to tell us that they are incapable of doing these things. And we must listen to science, even though science has been changing its hypotheses for the last 25,000 hypotheses that they've had. Actually, I'm not making it up. This is what he said. And it was kind of interesting to hear that from a, uptight New England patrician to have that awareness of the pretensions of science being rolled out here to tell us who should be in what place. Literature, philosophy, I said. Aristotle, 2,000 years ago or more, tells us, 2,450 years ago, quote, so is it naturally with the male and the female. The one is superior, the other inferior. The one governs, the other is governed. It was all very self-evident to Aristotle. Holy Scripture, the Bible, is wonderful, if you're looking for quotes on this. It reveals that God is not only a male, but a male supremacist. Genesis 3:16, thy desire shall be to thy husband. But I suffer not, let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man. Now, it's a very interesting thing that if that's your natural place, it's very interesting. It's your natural place. It's the natural order. It's very congruent and confluent. Yet they're always telling you, just stay there. Don't you try to get out of line. And why are you so worried about it, Timothy? If they are naturally there, why are you worried that they're going to outdo you, outshine you, outperform you, and not be under as they should? Feminist protest and rebellion, as you know, is not new. There's a famous letter, I'm sure many of you have read, written in 1776, a letter to her famous husband, John Adams, written by Abigail Adams, who urged that the laws of the new nation shall, quote, remember the ladies and not put such unlimited power into the hands of the husbands. Remember, all men would be tyrants if they could. Why then not put it out of the power of the vicious and the lawless to use us with cruelty and indignity? And she's using some pretty strong terms here about male-female relations. She's talking about the vicious and the lawless to use us with cruelty and indignity.
Yes, I can confirm that is true. I was on the Ark, and Noah was like, I really don't know. Sorry, I can't let anyone on. I just can't risk it. And so literally no dinosaurs were allowed on. I was hiding in the hay.
Dignity. He's alluding to some very real things that are happening, forms of abuse and the like.
Dinosaur cloaca.
In a manner that's, by the way, reminiscent of all privileged individuals. And I saw this, if you're talking about serfs, you're talking about Aristotle, you're talking about the Greek patriarchal ruling class, you talk about the industrial bosses, the capitalists, whatever else. In all cases, they have the same trait, and John Adams did the same thing. He responded by using a technique that is very, very common. You'll see it all through history. He simply reversed the roles of victim and victimizer. And he wrote back to Abigail as follows. As to your extraordinary code of laws, I cannot but laugh. We men have only the name of masters and will not give up this, which would completely subject us to the despotism of the petticoat. You see, he is suffering from the despotism of the petticoat. So they consciously know where their interests lie. In the 19th century, political leaders, educators, and clergy thought females were creatures of emotion and innately unqualified to vote. You remember, women struggled for the vote, and in our pluralistic, open, flexible, evolving system, they had to struggle for a mere 100 years, and they got the vote, just like that. I mean, just got up there, and it took only 100 years of getting beaten and jailed and force-fed in prisons and all that, and then they got the vote. So what are you complaining about? Okay. Women really weren't qualified for the vote, and this was a big issue in the 19th century. Also, I mean, incredible outpouring of literature about why women couldn't vote. They were too emotional. They were physically infirm. Speaking for many males of his day, one minister referred to, quote, the logical infirmity of mind, which constitutes one of the weaknesses, and I might also say one of the charms of the feminine constitution, unquote. It was said that women voters would forfeit their right to chivalry's protections if they voted. They could best inspire their men toward the virtuous life by remaining above politics rather than wallowing in it, you see. That they were very moral, and being moral, they would not be able to learn the arts of compromise and moderation. That's an interesting point there. Suffrage also would cause them to forego marriage and motherhood and succumb to the temptations of free love and socialism. Oh, I wish it were true about socialism. Furthermore, this is probably the most common prognosis. The turbulence of political life would be too taxing on a woman's delicate nature and health. And in considering the frailty of women, of course, these anti-suffragists had to overlook the many, many working-class women who stood from dawn to dusk, toiling at factory looms 10, 12 hours a day. They overlooked the women who put in endless days at stoop labor, picking crops in a hot field, or the women who worked 70-hour weeks sewing garments in fire-trap sweatshops. And by the way, subsequent events demonstrated that even the most fragile, the most delicate of the upper middle-class ladies proved hardy enough to withstand the rigors of walking into a polling booth and casting a ballot. They were able to do it without one recorded instance of any one of them fainting. The mode of gender oppression often varies according to class and race. Some bourgeois feminists are indifferent or overtly hostile to the recognition of class differences and class conflict. The same Abigail Adams, who so rightly argued women's cause, expressed an unlimited hostility toward the farmers of Western Massachusetts, who, when they were facing ruinous taxes, foreclosures, all sorts of oppressions, being thrown into debtor's prison and the like, they took up arms, an armed rebellion in America in 1787 known as Shays' Rebellion. And in a letter to Thomas Jefferson, Abigail Adams denounced Shays' Rebellion, quote, ignorant, restless desperadoes without conscience or principles have led a deluded multitude to follow their standard under pretense of grievances which have no existence but in their imaginations. Talking about the poor, women, and men who challenge her class interests, she sounds like John Adams talking to her when she argues for women's rights. Continuing, some of them were crying out for a paper currency, some for an equal distribution of property, unquote. She went on to call for, quote, the most vigorous measures to quell and suppress these mobbish insurgents who dared to rebel against the propertied class. I'm sorry, these mobbish insurgents, unquote. I then added, who dared to rebel against the property class, and who dared, in her words, who dared to argue for, her words, an equal distribution of property, which I said a minute ago. Now, that was her position, not because she was a woman, because there were women actively involved in Shays' Rebellion. There were women, farmers' wives, who were out there, loading the muskets and fighting and standing in front of the courthouses and opposing the debtor's prison. There were women in that fight, too. She opposed that because of her class. Similarly, the French novelist George Sand, who defied 19th century conventions, she smoked little cigars and she wore men's clothes, and she demanded equality for women.
I'm just going to do one more level.
But she denounced the revolutionary women and men of the Paris Commune, and the women played a very prominent role in the Paris Commune. Les incendiaries, they were out there causing the fires and all that right out on the battlefront. She denounced them, those who fought against the class privilege she herself enjoyed. Quote, "The mob is composed in part of dupes and fools, in part of the most degraded and criminal elements of the population. Nothing but a lot of coarse clowns." That's a terribly insensitive way to talk about people who are fighting, putting their lives on the line because of oppressive economic conditions. So when push came to shove, the otherwise iconoclastic Georges Sand showed her bourgeois colors and her class bigotry, demonstrating once again that wearing pants is no guarantee of wisdom or fairness. In 1908, the labor militant Clara Zetkin sharply criticized, quote, "a great and very influential portion of the English women's writers who oppose the legal protection of female labor."
And he's a wizard.
Anne Sullivan, the
and he's a
teacher of
wizard.
the famous Helen Keller, criticized the Boston Brahmin women who advocated female suffrage and abolitionism, and yet they treated their Irish servant girls like dirt.
Someone needs to eventually build a compilation of all the times that I make the claim that Karl Marx was a wizard, trained in speaking an ancient language the rest of us forgot.
Mother Jones repeatedly made the same argument about the same particular stratum of women. Which doesn't mean that their fight for equal rights within their particular class boundaries was not a legitimate fight and an important democratic gain. I don't want to make that point, that's an irrelevant issue. Because through the 19th century, in most states of the Union, women could not hold office or vote. They could not sit on juries. They were barred from medical schools, law schools, postgraduate training, either by law or custom. They didn't have legal custody of their own children or legal ownership of their own earnings or any other property or any inheritance. If a woman got an inheritance from her father, he died, it became her husband's property. Anything acquired before or during the marriage, these all became the husband's. The point I'm making, that fight for legal equality, that fight which involved these Boston Brahmin women, all these other women, that was a very important and very real and legal fight. But it was a limited fight, because for millions of female wage workers who owned no property, they had no hope of inheritance, they had no hope of a higher education, they had no hope of going to law school. Such grievances were, and by the way, such grievances still are, not the most urgent ones. Today, low-income women are far more heavily burdened by toil, drudgery, want, and illness than women or men of more affluent means. They enjoy far fewer, if any, opportunities for travel, advanced education, leisure, creative work, career advancement, and financial independence. They have less access to good maternal and medical services and child care. As one class-conscious white feminist put it, quote, "Working class life is demeaning, not because its culture or values are inferior, but because of the lack of money, lack of opportunity, lack of job responsibility, lack of respect, lack of power. In short, because of oppressive treatment of the working class by the higher classes," unquote. For many low-income Caucasian, African-American, and Latino women, work does not offer the self-development of a professional career. The home is not something they want to escape to go out into the world. In fact, a lot of these women would be only too happy to be able to stay home more often. 1 in 4 women workers of color are employed as household workers. Among their stingiest employees are the professional women who hire domestics in order to free themselves for career pursuits. One study, which was done about over a decade ago, shows that professional women regularly denied their domestic help the benefits they took for granted for themselves, such as paid holidays, paid sick leave, regular wages. Only about half of them contributed to Social Security for their employees. And that's still the case today, 10 years later, and we had a dramatic example of that in the Zoe Baird hearings. Nothing in this study has been said about male professionals, but I'm sure their record is no better, if not worse. For many low-income women, work means long, exhausting hours for meager wages at unpleasant jobs. And by the way, because of hard times, the trend has been for more and more women to go into the workforce From 1970 to 1990, the number of women working has grown substantially, and the number who have more than one job has increased 390%. Now, can you open that back door maybe? I know you want to cut off all air supply, but let's just get it open. Yeah, good. Now, why does anybody go have two or more jobs? It's not for the love of work usually. It's because one job doesn't pay enough. It's really as simple as that. So women are working more and working harder for less. In sum, what I'm saying here is that the mistreatment of women knows no class boundaries, but it is more pernicious among economically deprived groups, just as the mistreatment of men is too. Oppressive class conditions and gender mistreatment reinforce each other. This double oppression of gender oppression and class oppression becomes a triple oppression when we include the racism that low-income women of color have to encounter. Let me read something from a government report that was released in 1911, which tells you something about the political economy of gender oppression. The low wages at which women will work form the chief reason for employing them at all. A woman's cheapness is, so to speak, her greatest economic asset. She can be used to keep down the cost of production where she is regularly employed. She can be introduced as a strike breaker to take the place of men seeking higher wages, or the threat of introducing her may be used to avert such a strike. But the moment she organizes a union and seeks by organization to secure better wages, she diminishes or destroys what is to the employer her chief value, namely her cheap labor. And by the way, women did organize and did play an active role in the trade union movement. Nowadays, by the way, women are less likely to be used as strike breakers, but their job marketability still rests on their relatively low wage demands. In 1992, women earned 75 cents for every dollar that was earned by men. It was up from 59 and 60 cents of some earlier years. That's not because women's wages have so improved. That's because men's wages have been deflating and being cut back. I mean, the top-paying blue-collar jobs are being systematically wiped out or exported. So that we are closing the gender gap, but in the wrong direction. Not by bringing women's wages up, but by bringing men's wages down. The conditions of women vary greatly, as you know, from country to country. But what I found is there are remarkable variations, but there are also some remarkable and horrible similarities. In North America and Europe, almost all females attend secondary school. In a country like Pakistan, about 17% attend. In Iran, women are denied any advanced education. Important government posts are closed to them. A woman cannot occupy a top government post. An Iranian male can divorce his wife at any time without informing her. That staggered me, without informing her. You know, oh, don't come back tonight. I mean, just that morning you can say. But she has no such option. The head of Iran's Islamic Supreme Court, quoting him, quote, "If women were given the right to divorce their husbands, being emotional by nature, they could make irrational decisions. This does not apply to men," unquote. President Rafsanjani of Iran, the head of state of Iran, quote, he concurs, quote, "Men are stronger and more capable in all fields. Men's brains are larger," unquote. So here is yet another politician who can't tell the difference between his brain and his ego, huh?
All right, comrades. We have a few minutes. I think we can do something in that time. I'm sure of it. We can maybe get a fight going down in the dungeon. Yeah, we did do this scene. Yeah, let's do one last fight. We have so much stuff. Look at all this. These are our potions. Oh. You're never going to beat me, Smash. I'm far too strong. I won way too many fights. That system is rigged so that once you win, you are set up to continue winning nonstop. As soon as you are one level up, it's like, unless you just like, it would have to be really bad chance. Look at all of our scrolls. So many good scrolls. And it's oh. Whoa. There we go. So many good scrolls. We have lots of hold monsters. Lots of big explodey things.
I didn't understand that.
Oh. Sorry, phone. I sat on my phone and it talked to me. $51 scrolls. Someone say the hottest scrolls. 51 scrolls, 54 potions. Let's go liberate some gnomes. Maybe some tieflings. It's possible that the tieflings down here are not alright. I may have forgotten, but we can do that. We can fix that. Oh, they're fine. Roland better be alright. Okay, they're fine. Get rid of the eye. Can I throw?
Are you
them?
gay?
I can. Are you gay? I didn't hear it. Oh, hold on. I don't have my game sound on either. There we go. I need to get rid of this eye. Expedition 33 soon. We've got, yeah, only a couple minutes. Let's do it.
Wits and blades always sharp.
I can't believe they didn't see that. Stealth successful. Stealth archer. Stealth archer. Stealth successful. We're not in combat. Okay. Hold on. We have Dread Ambush or Hide, but we're in sight lines. So first things first is we're gonna just kill this one guy. Oh no. Lae'zel can't do it either. That's so funny. They slipped?
I know. And I'll be right alongside you if it comes to that.
We won't let them win.
I bet
Not now. Not ever.
here.
They're almost dead. Oh, they're alive. They're dead. Alright, comrades, we are going to an ad break. Actually, it's gonna shut down and come back. Don't go anywhere. Stream's gonna shut down while I switch to the French. We're gonna come back, and then we're gonna do an ad break, and we're gonna do some French stuff, unfortunately. But it's the only good French stuff, I promise. Trust me. So, stream is going down, and I will see you in just a moment in the lobby screen. If you have a sub, then we will listen to some Liberation Radio while we wait for the ad, and then we'll start Expedition 33. I'll see you in just a few minutes.